Hey everyone, welcome back to Chat and Pages with me, Aisha. Happy New Year, and I hope you're all doing well. As we kick off the new year, I thought it would be great to share some of my thoughts on New Year's resolutions, my New Year's resolutions, reading goals, and my 2024 TBR. That's to be read for those of you that are new to the bookish world. So, without further ado, let's dive into the topics of the day. First things first, how's everyone's new year doing so far? Drop a comment below and let me know what your resolutions are or if you have any exciting plans for the year ahead. Now, let's dive into my New Year's resolutions. Personally, I believe in setting realistic and achievable goals, but my head never seems to agree with me on that. Whenever I pick up my pen to write down my goals, I end up with a ton of mammoth goals that I know I won't be able to achieve in the next 12 or even 24 months. But don't blame me, or maybe blame me. I'm an overachiever and I'm overly ambitious. But then there's a huge downside that comes alongside that. I'm also lazy and I tend to procrastinate a lot. So maybe my goals aren't really unrealistic or unachievable. It's just that reaching those goals would require me to change, to put in some real hard and smart work. So with that out of the way, my New Year's resolution is to work on quitting my procrastination and cutting down on laziness. Those are the key things. For me, achieving these two things will open up paths to achieving my real goals. So every other thing I intend to do will come after this. That's what I believe. And if you are wondering how I plan to work on these two toxic traits of mine, here are a few things that I intend to do. Number one is I'll break my tasks into smaller manageable steps. Think breaking my tasks into smaller components will create a more achievable roadmap for me. And I think that will help in avoiding overwhelming feelings associated with large tasks. Number two would be setting specific deadlines for each task. I believe assigning deadlines will add a sense of urgency and structure to my work. That in turn would prevent my tendency to delay tasks indefinitely. Then number three would be to prioritize tasks based on importance and urgency. And that would mean I'll have to recognize the distinction between tasks that are crucial and those that are less pressing. Then I think will be to create a productive and organized workspace. I'm not a very organized person, but I think having a well organized workspace will minimize distractions and foster focus. That in turn will eliminate clutter. And I don't know, I just think that this will help in creating a conducive atmosphere for efficient work and minimize the temptation to procrastinate. Five, I think, would be to set a reward system for myself. I'll be setting a reward system for myself. That means I will treat myself to a break or a small indulgence or any activity that I enjoy after completing a task. I think this approach will reinforce positive behavior and will help in building a productive routine. And the last but not the least would be for me to seek accountability from a friend or family member. I think sharing my goals and progress with someone else will provide external accountability, and knowing that someone is aware of my objectives will encourage me to commit and follow through with whatever I start. I think that's all about that. That's all about my resolutions. So let me know, what are your resolutions? Share them in the comments. Let's inspire each other. Shifting gears a bit, let's talk reading goals. Whether you're aiming for a certain number of books or exploring new genres, reading goals can add so much joy to your year. My goal last year was to read 100 books, and I'm not ashamed to announce that I did not reach my goal. I didn't achieve my goal of reading 100 books. I was only able to read 57 books. And if you ask me, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yes, I did hit the halfway mark. This year, I'm not concerning myself with numbers, and I'll tell you why. When you set a goal around the number of books, it quickly gets pretty overwhelming. You start to obsess over the numbers, and instead of enjoying reading and connecting with the books, it gets to a point where you just want to read a book just to get it over with, so you can add a number to your list of have read. And when you do that, you find that you didn't get any real value from the books you've read at the end of the day. And all that defeats the purpose of reading. So, for that reason, and because no one is ever going to appreciate me for reading 100 or 200 books a year, my reading goal this year is simple: to explore more diverse voices and genres. And just seeing this makes me so excited, guys. I'm mostly a nonfiction reader, and even that is limited to business and self help books. And when I do read fiction, I hardly ever step out of the lines of psychological thrillers, mystery, and legal fiction. I've never read a dystopian, horror, or fantasy genre, guys. Never. I can count the number of romance novels I've read on the fingers of one hand. My genre preference is that small, really tiny. It actually feels like a drop out of the ocean of literary genres, and that's why I want to change that this year. I need to change that this year. So we'll be reading anything and everything this year: horror, romance, fantasy, dystopian, blah, blah, blah. You just name it. I'd be so happy if you can recommend some of your favorites in the comment section. So, what about you? What are you reading this year? What are your reading goals this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. My 2024 TBR. I've curated a list of books that I'm super excited to dive into this year, from fiction to non-fiction to everything in between. There's little bit of everything, or maybe not a little bit. I have over 350 books on my TBR, which I'm continuously updating, and I honestly don't know when and how I'll get the time to read them. But who cares, right? Because I have a lot of books on my list, I'll just mention what I consider my top 10 for now, because my top 10 tends to change spontaneously. Anyway, I was saying my top 10 books on my 2024 TBR. Number one is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. Let me tell you why this is on my list. Number one, I love the title. I don't know what Kafka is. I don't know if it's a person's name or whatever. And I love the author's name. Okay. I don't read a lot of, I've never, or maybe I read only one Asian author before now, but Kafka on the Shore, according to reviews I've read, is a mesmerizing exploration of identity, fate, and I think the interconnections between individuals. So, and yeah, the themes of self-discovery and the search for meaning permeates the novel, inviting readers to question their own existence. I don't know. I don't really know much about this. I don't really read blogs and synopses and whatever, but I can't wait to dive into Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. Number two is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I think The Book Thief is a literary masterpiece set against the backdrop of Nazi Germany. The book is narrated by Death. I don't even know what that means, but the story revolves around Lizelle, a young girl with an insatiable appetite for books. So the novel intricately weaves together themes of love, loss, and the enduring power of words. I can't wait to get into this one. Number 3 on my list is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is a profound exploration of the human psyche in the midst of unimaginable suffering. Based on Frankl's experiences in Nazi concentration camps, the book is divided into two parts. The first recounts his personal journey, while the second introduces logotherapy, his therapeutic approach centered on finding meaning in all forms of existence. I've heard a lot of good things about Man's Search for Meaning, and when I tell people that I read and enjoyed The Tattooist of Auschwitz, the next book they recommend is this one. Um, what is it called again? Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So yes, I can't wait to get into that. Number 4 on my list is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I think a lot of people are fans of Brian Tracy, and I'm yet to understand why. I'm currently reading the book No Excuses by him, and I think it's overhyped. But anyway, Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog is a practical guide to conquering procrastination and optimizing productivity. The book's central metaphor, eating that frog, represents tackling the most challenging task of the day first. In this book, Tracy provides actionable strategies for effective time management, goal setting, and prioritization. Okay, so I think this is a good one, seeing that my New Year's resolution is quitting procrastination. I think I should definitely read this one. Of course, I hope it's on my list. So yes. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Number 5 is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Anyway, in Thinking Fast and Slow, the book introduces two systems of thinking: the fast intuitive system and the slow deliberate system. Daniel delves into cognitive biases, decision making errors, and the factors that influence human judgment. Drawing on decades of research, she provides insight into how our mind navigates the complexities of decision making. Through engaging anecdotes and experiments, Daniel reshapes our understanding of human behavior, challenging conventional notions about rational decision making. I should tell you guys at this point that the synopsis I'm providing sounds like brief review, but it's not. It's just something I collected from reading other people's reviews of this book. Next, we have the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Okay, this book compiles the wisdom and insights of entrepreneur and thinker Naval Ravikant. This almanac covers a broad spectrum of topics, including happiness, success, wealth, and the pursuit of fulfillment. Well, I don't know what to expect, and I don't even know what I expect with this one. But I know that the reason why I have it on this list is because I love the title. And I think it's by Yuval Harari or something. I don't remember the author's name, but I think that's it. Number 7 on my list is The Art of Laziness by I don't remember the author's name. The Art of Laziness offers a refreshing take on efficiency and productivity. This book explores unconventional strategies to achieve goals while maintaining a healthy work-life balance. The author challenges the notion that constant busyness equates to productivity, emphasizing the importance of strategic thinking and avoiding unnecessary effort. I think I'm going to love this one. I'm really, really going to enjoy this. And why I have this book on my list is because it has the word laziness in the title. I'm lazy like that. Anyway, moving on to number 8, we have The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Eckhart, I don't know. The Power of Now is a spiritual guide that advocates for living in the present moment. The book invites readers to release the burdens of the past and future anxieties, providing a pathway to inner peace and contentment. Moving on to number 9, we have Influence by Robert Cialdini. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Influence is a captivating exploration of the psychology behind persuasion and influence. Drawing on social psychology and extensive research, Robert identifies 6 key principles that drive human behavior, from the scarcity effect to the authority bias. Each principle is dissected with real world examples and insights. The book not only provides a comprehensive understanding of the dynamics of persuasion, but also offers practical applications for individuals navigating various. I think I'm going to love this one because I'm a huge fan of psychology, maybe not social psychology. I try to stay away from exploring or just reading stuff related to social psychology because that really messes me up. But I think I'll enjoy it. At number 10, the last book on the list is Psychology of the Child by Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget's The Psychology of the Child is a foundational work in developmental psychology, offering a meticulous exploration of the cognitive and psychological stages of childhood. Piaget's research revolutionized our understanding of how children learn, grow, and perceive the world around them. Through detailed observations and insightful analysis, he unveils the progressive stages of intellectual development from sensorimotor to formal operational. I think I'm going to really, really love this one. I'm a huge fan of Jean Piaget's work. I've read his articles and yeah, I've read his articles and I really, really like them. So I really look forward to reading this particular one, especially because it's a work on child psychology. So that brings us to the end of the list of my top 10 2024 TBR. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. What books are on your TBR for 2024? Drop your recommendations and opinions in the comments below. And that's a wrap for today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts on New Year's resolutions, your reading goals, and any book recommendations you have for 2024. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, happy reading and achieving those goals. Take care, bookworms. Bye.